Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fox Den. Yes, I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I decided to do something a little different. So this is once again back to the Labrys fanfic. I've been this Persona 4 Arena X My Hero fanfic I've been writing. However, this is version 2, a different spin at what I wanted to do. AKA the classic fanfic of insert X character into my hero universe. But I'm playing also a little spin of it. I'm also going to be playing along with the P4AU story. P4 Arena Ultimate, or Ultimax. So eventually, Show will make an appearance. And it's going to be a shorter episode, a shorter video, because I'm just going to read off my script / dialogue. Anyways, let's get started. Labrys! Labrys! Shouts a voice as Labrys shoots up. Huh? What? Mitsuru-san. Did she wake me? Mitsuru Kirijo, the lady talking to me, is the leader of the newly formed group of people that have this unique power. Personas is what we call it. It can take a variety of forms and has many ways to reveal itself. Mitsuru and her friends had theirs due to near-death experiences, and while a subgroup known as the investigation team got theirs by stepping into the darkness, the fear and weakness they have. I, however, am different. I am known as an anti-shadow weapon developed by Mitsuru-san's family. After some event, I went rogue and ran from the station I was at. How did you gain sentience, you may ask? Well, I'm not sure myself. Mitsuru-san says there was a plume of dusk. According to her, a plume of dusk allowed a soul to develop in me, granting emotions, feeling, and a moral compass. Not everything was sunshine and rainbows for me after I ran. I was pulled into this TV realm. That's what my friends in the investigation team tell me anyways. My shadow was different compared to what they've seen. As shadows take your form of weakness, take the form of your weaknesses, but for me, it took the form of my rage that I once had for Mitsuru-san's family. After a long battle, Yosuke Haramura was the one to get me a look and accept my shadow. To accept my rage and anger. I did, with her becoming my persona, but I still feel my shadow's presence. Almost like she's watching me. Not with ill intent. It's almost like she wants to protect me. Now, though, Mitsuru-san has asked me to join a hero school for future plans. I agreed on one condition, that my friends, especially Yosuke, are allowed to join me. After some convincing, the members of the investigation team agreed to join me for a new journey into UA. And thanks to Mitsuru-san's people, we got our hands on an experimental device that would allow us to summon our personas anywhere. With this in hand, I, alongside my friends, made our way to UA. We had a plan. Yosuke and I would go hero course. You and the rest would go general studies or support. Sadly, Naoto, due to being a detective, can't join us in this, but plans to help any way she can from the sidelines. And so, thanks to Mitsuru-san, who pulled some strings, we were on our way to UA High. At UA's headmaster's office, it would seem that we have some unique students on their way. The rat bear creature would say to the red-haired woman in front of him. Now tell me, Miss Kurijo, what are their quirks, as we don't have folks from the countryside on file? Mitsuru would respond with a, remember what I told you, Nezu, about personas. They technically don't have quirks, but they do have a device that would allow them to use their personas anytime, anywhere. Nezu has been a great friend to Mitsuru and her Shadow Ops group, as Nez has been a great friend of Nezu and her Shadow Ops group, as Nezu was once a part of it. So as a favor to an old friend, accepts these applications on one condition. They have to still do the entrance exam, as you're not a certified hero, Mitsuru, so you're not allowed to give a recommendation. I understand. I'll tell him as much, and thank you, old friend. With that, Mitsuru would leave, but stops before the door and says over the shoulder, I'll have Ahihiko come by every once in a while to check up on Lapras. While I trust the others in the investigation team, I want one of my own watching out for her. Then she finally leaves. 4 weeks have gone by since Mitsuru-san has given me and the investigation team free rein on an old estate she owns. Enough about that. I can tell you're craving more action. Alright, guys. Yosuke, be careful, alright? Yunarakami will say to my first friend, Yosuke. Hey, it's alright, partner, I got this. Besides, Lapras is with me. Yosuke will respond with his classic cheerful, carefree attitude. Yukiko, the black-haired girl in the group, would speak. I would feel much calmer if you didn't do this, Yosuke. Chie would then speak up. Don't you dare try anything or do anything to Lapras, okay? Kanji would speak. Hey now, Chie. I'm sure he won't, and besides, I'm pretty sure Lapras' axe would say something first. To hell with it. Good luck, you two. Kanji would clap us on the shoulder, or clasp our shoulders as we leave. This is where we begin our journey to becoming heroes. We got to UA 30 minutes until the exam. Right now, we are just talking about the exam, what the exam might be, when I saw a young green-haired boy trip. I used my arm that can get attached into a sort of a grapple hook to pull him to us. Normally it would pull me to them, but this boy was strangely light. Whoa, thank you. You used your quirk on me, saved me from falling, is what the boy said. Yosuke would say before I had a chance to. Don't worry about it, and besides, it would have been bad luck if you fail. Yeah, so don't go to worry about a wound before a test, right? God, that must have sounded horrible. I apologize. I'm trying to emulate the southern-ish accent Lapras his voice actor gave her. The green-haired boy would respond a thank you, as Yosuke would tell us that we better get going. We have a few minutes until the exam. As we all rush into the room. Just in time, actually. God, UA is such a big place. I didn't expect this. If I would have known, I would have asked Mitsuru-san for a map of the place to get myself used to it. But enough about that now. Old wounds can't hurt that much, can it? Me and Yosuke found our positions in where we're supposed to sit. We found 2 empty seats. Luckily, they're next to the green-haired boy we were just talking to. But as Yosuke was speaking to the boy, I was paying attention, trying to gather as much information as I can. While I might not be as intelligent as my sister, while I might not be as intelligent as my sister, I guess, I'm still somewhat intelligent. And so everything went fly by pretty quickly. Thanks to probably to Mitsuru-san's strings, we were given free passes on the exam. Hell, on our papers we were told, on our instructions in particular, we were told that these points wouldn't count toward our score. And so, this is when the practical would begin. As we would reconvene after a short little lunch break, a hero known as President Mike would give us some speeches and explain to us what the exam would be. All right, little listeners. As you can see, we have three different robots on screen. The 1-pointer, the 2-pointer, and the 3-pointer. Now, to gather points, you have to destroy these robots. But, as before you have to say anything, a boy with blue hair would shoot his hand upward. Of President Mike answering, "Yes, little listener in the blue. How can I help you?" With this boy saying, "President Mike, I'm sure this is probably a mistake but there's no such information. There's on the flyer, the 4th robot, but you have not yet talked about this. This is a shame to UA, who holds such standards and blah 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 blah." Ah, God, I got tired of hearing his voice. With Yosuke surprisingly shooting up, Yosuke would shoot up saying, "Oi! Hey! Blue hair! Shut up, will you? He's trying to speak his mind. He's trying to tell us the directions to the test. None of us want to fail, don't they?" With the blue-haired boy looking towards Yosuke, with glaring daggers to him, and then sits down. Everything would go by pretty simply after that. President Mike would explain to us the 0-pointer, how it's an obstacle, but I have a feeling that it's not just an obstacle. I just can't put my finger on it. We also got our battle locations, and surprisingly, we were separated, probably due to how we act on our own instead of together. Not much concern for me. After the explanation, we would be separated, and I would head off to my field. Battlefield G. As I get there, I would see some pretty significant figures. Some would catch my attention, like a girl with black hair, a girl with short purplish hair with what looks like headphone jacks on her ears, and a boy with red spiky hair. Everything was pretty quiet and so forth, and when the gates opened, I took no chances. I didn't hear any speech about countdown, so I assumed it was okay for us to go when the door opened. And so I did. But behind me, when everyone started calling me a cheater, I became somewhat self-conscious and slowed down a bit. But when I heard President Mike's answer to that, "There's no countdown to hero battles, just he's perfectly fine. Now what are the rest of you doing? Go, go, go!" I became more confident and decided to go off and do my best. With Yosuke, oh jeez, why'd I have to be stuck with him of all people? As Yosuke would say when looking towards his group, he would see the blue-haired boy who was angry at him, who got angry at him, and we also see the green-haired boy that Labrys saved from tripping. As he would walk up to him saying, hey, green hair, hey, broccoli head, how are ya?" As Midoriya, well, as we would know, Midoriya would turn around and say, "Ah, it's you, but with the robotic girl, with the Robo Quirk girl." It's like, ah, yeah, sure, something like that. Nice to see you, dude. So, how'd you do on the exam? With Midoriya saying, it's still too early to figure that out, but I think I did well. With Yosuke saying, come on, man, have more faith in yourself. Anyways, before the test starts, should we introduce ourselves? As Yosuke would say, my name's Yosuke Haramura. Nice to meet ya. As Izuku would say, my name's Izuku Midoriya. It's nice to meet you too, Haramura-san. Enough of the honorifics, enough of the honorifics, Midoriya. You can call me Yosuke Haramura. I don't mind. I'm not picky how people pronounce my name. Thank you, Haramura-san. Thank you. So yeah, there's no problem. Anyways, we should get going, shouldn't we? The door's open. As Yosuke, or Izuku was like, isn't that cheating? It's like, it's not cheating. They never explain a rule about countdown, did they? Of Izuku saying, yeah, that's perfectly fair. Anyways. As they begin rushing off. Back with Labris, she's gathered a crowd ton of points. But she hasn't used her persona yet, she's just been using the axe on her back. Man, I feels kind of bad, but figuring my past, but I don't know, I just feel somewhat natural's not the right word. How do I explain it? Conscience free. Yeah, that's it. Like, this is a conscience-free battle due to these robots not having some type of sentience or Plume of Dusk influence. But this is when a group of, I'll say, 6 different three-pointers attack her all at once while she was off guard. Last second she dodges and calls for Ariadne. And with this declaration, Ariadne is summoned, thanks to the device that Mitsuru-san has given her in the investigation team. With Labris saying under her breath, it works like a charm. And thus begin a battle that would go down in centuries. Move, you damn tiger. Move, you damn tiger. Sorry, teammate. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. Explanation. Anyways, due to the use of persona, we cut over to the teacher observation, to which they catch the sight of Yosuke using his persona, or not, Labris using her persona. And thus, Nezu would say, so that's what Mitsuru, that's what Korijo meant about their powers being different. Aizawa was saying, what do you mean, Nezu, about it being different? That just seems like a normal summoning quirk. That just seems like some sort of unique summoning quirk. With all the rest of the teachers agreeing with Nezu saying, but it is not. You see, Mitsuru-san leads a group of these special quirk users who all have the same quirk. If everyone's saying that's false, that's impossible. If everyone's saying it is possible, and they've done it. The quirks are called personas. While they're not technically quirks, they can be. They form out of the desperation, fear, or anger one has to overcome within themselves. With Nezu and this group thinking, so basically they're like living automatons. But what about that robot girl? Her. Nezu simply saying that she's a special case. She's actually really unique. As she has with them saying, she has to have some robotic quirk. With Nezu revealing, well, she's unique. She's an actual robot. With everyone not believing that for a second, they all find it kind of weird that why would a robot join UA? With Nezu saying because she has something to prove. Like everyone has something to prove in themselves. Now then, let's activate the 0-pointer to see how well this machine can handle herself. With Hanamura, with Yosuke, 0-pointers have been released in all facilities. And the black-haired girl, or the purplish-haired girl he saw in the beginning, is now struggling to get her feet up, as she was previously knocked down by a robot and trapped under some rubble it destroyed. Yosuke sees this and decides, hell with it. Come, Jiraiya! Jiraiya was then summoned forth, with Yosuke looking down at the device Mitsuru gave him, and whistles, whew! Damn, this worked like a charm. Man, this is cool. Anyway, same thing kind of happens, and let's just skip through that. A week later, they would get their letters. They all would. With the letter saying that the rest of the members of the investigation team have been accepted either into the support or general studies. But everyone was curious about Labras and Yosuke. As it revealed, Yosuke getting Midnight for his announcer and Labras getting Aizawa. With them explaining about how they both placed first and second respectively. And both gained some hero points. Sorry. Anyways, with them cheering, with Yosuke and Labras cheering, and them hugging each other because, come on. And thus, they plan for the first day. But that's going to wait for another day. Until I write that chapter, that is. Hope you guys enjoy this version 2. If you want me to actually continue version 2, tell me down below. If you want to tell me, I'll put a pull up event and eventually decide if I should do either continue version 1 or version 2. Until then, I hope to hear you guys I hope to hear from you guys next time.